David and his men were hiding from King Saul. And they took refuge in a place known as the wilderness of Paran, which is near the town of Carmel. Now there was a very rich man from Maon, who had property there at Carmel. His name was Nabal. Nabal has many servants, and owned 3,000 sheep, and 1,000 goats grazing in the area. But he was crude and mean in all his dealings with others. David and his men had been protecting Nabal's flocks and shepherds from raiders. When David heard that Nabal was shearing his sheep, he sent 10 of his young men to Nabal, with this message:
"While your shepherds stayed among us near Carmel, we never harmed them, and nothing was ever stolen from them.
So would you be kind to us? And share any provisions you might have, since we have come at a time of celebration?"
Now Nabal had heard that David was hiding from Saul. He hurled insults at David and his messengers.
"Who does David think he is? There are lots of servants who run away from their masters. Should I take my food and give it to a band of outlaws who come from who knows where?"
The messengers reported back to David. It was now David's turn to be angry.
"Arm yourselves!"
David shouted to his men.
We are going to pay Nabal a visit.
David and 400 fighting men set off towards Carmel. Meanwhile, one of Nabal's servants told his wife, Abigail,
"David sent messengers to greet our master, but he screamed insults at them. David and his men have been very good to us. They were like a wall of protection to us and the sheep. You need to figure out what to do, for there is going to be trouble for our master and his whole family. He's so ill-tempered that no one can even talk to him."
Abigail wasted no time. She quickly gathered a huge supply of food and packed them on donkeys. She said to her servants,
"Go on ahead. I will follow you shortly."
But she didn't tell her husband Nabal what she was doing. She met David and his men angrily marching towards Carmel, ready to teach Nabal a lesson. Abigail fell to her knees and said,
"I accept all blame in this matter, my lord. Nabal is a wicked and ill-tempered man. Please don't pay any attention to him. He is a fool, just as his name suggests. But I never even saw the young men you sent. You have not done wrong throughout your entire life. Don't let this needless bloodshed and vengeance be a blemish on your record. Then your conscience won't have to bear its staggering burden. Let all your enemies and those who try to harm you be as cursed as Nabal is. And here is a present that I, your servant, have brought to you and your young men. Please forgive me if I have offended you in any way. The Lord will surely reward you with a lasting dynasty, for you are fighting the Lord's battles."
David replied to Abigail,
Praise the Lord, the God of Israel, who has sent you to meet me today. Thank God for your good sense.
Bless you for keeping me from murder and from carrying out vengeance with my own hands."
Then David accepted her present and told her,
Return home in peace. I have heard what you said. We will not kill your husband.
When Abigail arrived home, she found that Nabal was throwing a big party and was celebrating like a king. He was very drunk, so she didn't tell him anything about her meeting with David until dawn the next day. In the morning, when Nabal was sober, his wife told him what she had done, and how close he had come to being attacked by David and his men. Nabal was so alarmed that he had a stroke, and he lay paralyzed on his bed like a stone. About 10 days later, the Lord struck him, and he died. When David heard that Nabal was dead, he said,
Praise the Lord, who has avenged the insult I received from Nabal,
and has kept me from doing it myself. Nabal has received the punishment for his sin.
Then David sent messengers to Abigail to ask her to become his wife. Abigail was happy to marry David, and so she became his wife.
Looking at a legend into the prophet every day, I got a woman to life to burn. From a lot of you after loving every day, and everybody sometimes if you want to do or do. And a one for loving every day, and everybody sometimes if you want to do or do. Looking at a legend into the prophet never do 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 do. No one for do 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 do. Looking at a legend into the prophet never do 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 do. And the one for want to do do. Okay, one for living every day, and everybody sometimes, if you want to do or do. And a one for living every day, and everybody sometimes, if you want to do or do. Looking at a much more into the prophet never do 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 do. No one for do 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 do. Looking at a much more into the prophet never do 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 do. And the one for want to do do.